In some of my previous videos, you will have heard me mention how we're all or nothing, and one aspect of that is being in tune, intuition, and just reading the room and all that. We're either really switched on or we're really switched off. So when I feel safe and things are calm, I can really get in tune with myself and the universe and what's going on around me in my environment. And that's when I'm able to read the room and make really good decisions. And that's when I get what I call these messages that you may have heard me refer to. And I call them that because I don't know what to refer them to, because I don't have one belief system. Some people, religious people will call it God. Spiritual people will call it the universe. Scientifically minded people will call it, your inner thoughts, your own inner voice. So I am more spiritually minded, but I don't have one belief system. I don't practice things the way that are set out, in the rules book. But I know what I believe in, and I know that I connect with whatever the energy is out there when I feel safe and calm. And the last couple of years, things have been really out of whack a lot because I've been in such a heightened state of fight or flight. So this week, things really started getting real. It was getting ridiculous, 6 and 7 hour missions, walking and hitchhiking in really heightened states, getting triggered in stupid situations just to get like 5 liters of fuel for my generator, or a backpack of groceries to last a couple of days, or 5, 10, 15 liters of water. But because I wasn't getting proper amounts of water, things were starting to escalate. So like running out of clothes because I had no laundry. I haven't had a shower in like 2 or 3 weeks. My dishes were piling up, and wanting to be able to just clean the van, and just all these things. I was only getting enough to just drink and cook with, and for the animals. And then my staples, okay, I need food, because I ran around in a panic, getting like a million packets of pasta and rice and things like that, but not all the things to go with them. So I got down to this point where I was like, I had no fuel and the generator wasn't working, so I had no heat. I had no food, but I had things like pasta, rice, flour, water. And the water was minimal because I was getting like between 5 and 15 liters every 2 or 3 days. So I started really slowing down. I got my period, which was knocking me for 6, ran out of toilet paper, and I was like, I need to go to the shop. There wasn't enough solar. It was raining, it was wet, it was cold, I was bleeding, I was cramping, didn't have any like real food, water was on the out, and I was like, I can't get to the shop. It's realistically, for me to do that, 7 hours missioning in the rain and the mud with the dog, when I could barely stand with my period cramps, I went, fuck it. And for a few days, I was just eating flour and water, making like flatbread, and just pasta with like different soy sauces, and oats with water. No milk, no fruit, no nuts, nothing, just oats with water. And those 3 things were my staple for like 4 days, and I could feel what it was doing to my body. My stomach was I was getting diarrhea, I was getting nauseous, and I was feeling myself really slow down. But because I wasn't going out in the stimulation, even though I was getting sick physically, things were slowing down mentally, and that was able to like sort of get me connected with myself again. And I started having all these like hallucinations and weird experiences, and that's why I tapped out for a few days, because I'm not going to put anything on here anymore that's going to potentially get me a welfare check. I am going through some really hardcore shit, and I said to myself, fuck it, I'm not going to kill myself anymore. I'm actually just going to wait wait it out. I'm going to live on bread and this like flat bread, like the water and flour and the oats for as long as I can. Because I actually feel that something's going to happen. I feel like I don't need to kill myself. It's just going to fall into place. And I know that when I get these feelings, they're always right. It happened in Wollongong when I had too much of a sensory overload to go into Service New South Wales just to line up and do all the things I had to, like swap my rego over from WA plates to New South Wales plates. Like, I couldn't do it. My health could not do it. And I went, fuck it. I feel like I'm going to just know someone who's going to WA soon, and I'm just going to give him my car. And it happened within weeks. Someone I knew was going to WA, and I just gave him my car, just so that I didn't have to go up and queue in the line to transfer the plates over. You know what I mean? It was just a feeling. And I had this feeling. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, out of oats, out of water. It's getting really fucking cold. And I had some meds that I'd ordered some new meds from this new script that had been sitting there all week just waiting. And I was like, I need to get the meds. They'll help with my stomach and the inflammation and the sleep while I'm out. I can, try and get like just 1.5 litres of water at the shop. I'll get some fruit and veggies while I'm there. And I'll get 5 litres of fuel. So, and I embraced myself ready for the fact that I probably wouldn't get a ride because the weather was wet. And I had Sadie with me. And I looked like shit. And people probably weren't going to stop. So I was getting ready for a 7-hour return walk. Walking along, and I'm not even joking. We're about 40 minutes in, and this truck pulls up, and it's this older couple, like maybe in their 60s, and it's like a miracle happened. They asked where I was going, and within seconds, Sadie was in the back of their ute because they had it set up for their own dogs who weren't actually with them at the time. So she was in the back of their ute, which had a canopy, so she was fine in there. I was in the back of their cabin. They drove me to the shop where I got my meds, and I was like, yay, I can get 2 bags of groceries now because there's a car instead of 1. And then they actually gave me $50 and went, make it 3. And I was like, no. But they insisted. So I'm going to pay it back to them tomorrow when I got my pension. But guess what else they did? When they drove me back and we were talking about everything, they felt sorry for me. Because I told them about like how tomorrow being my pension, I was going to try and see if I could hire a car to go into like the local town. I'd have to hitchhike for hours to the rental car, then come back, take my laundry, the Jerry's, go and get a click and collect, drop my laundry at the laundromat, fill up my Jerry's, do all this stuff. And I was going to go out and buy some more water Jerry's and all this. They transferred me, they pay ID'd me $450 to order my click and collect then and there. They took Jerry's with them. They went and they brought back a month's worth of my groceries for me. 40 litres of fuel in the Jerry's. They brought me back a water tank. They went and filled up the water tank. They brought me a fucking washing machine that they sourced. They went on Marketplace, saw one for free and just went and got a little camping one. And brought it all and spent like hours just of their time just doing it all. And I was just like, I can't believe it. All in just one day. It just fell from the sky. And now I'm set up for fuel, water, and food for a month. I don't need to leave my van, except for maybe in the month I'll need to go and like get some meds and some fresh fruit and veggies. But I can organise a ride to do that once in a month. Because I'm now going to do that every month with them. I'm going to pay for the click and collect. They're going to get it on their way here. And then when they get here, we're going to fill up the water tank together and then take my Jerry's out and get the meds at the same time and come back. Boom, done. Within like an hour and a half, a month of their time. So obviously I'm going to pay them. They have said they don't want money for it, but it's their fuel and their time. So everything that they did yesterday, I owe them like $600 and something because the fuel, They got some Jerry's, all the water, the groceries, the cash, all of it. So obviously if they don't add time and fuel for their, on top of that, I will round it up to like 800 or 900 or something. But it's amazing because I don't have to let someone in and be friends where I'm trusting someone. It's more just like once a month these people are going to help me, and if they don't, it's okay. Like, they're not going to be taking from me. There's no financial agreement. They're not going to steal from me. You know, they came and brought me all these things because they felt sorry for me. They had a grandkid with them that was like playing with Sadie. And even if they don't turn up next month, I know that I've got a month to figure it out, you know. And that gives me downtime to really focus on my health. Get some emails out to some neurologists. Focus on my pets. I can finally shave Phoebe. Focus on this channel. I want to do some phone calls with some doctors and some services to show you how fucking hard it is for someone with trauma to get real help or to be taken seriously or to just call somewhere and not get triggered. That it's just really hard to get by. So now I'm going to have time to do things like that. Now, of course, that I've put this on here, it's a perfect opportunity for those who want to take me down to come and ruin that peace. Go ahead. I'm used to it. Every time something good happens to me, someone comes along to destroy it. It's okay. Please remember, I live with cameras 24/7. And even when I don't put daily videos on here, I make videos every day on my phone, which show you where I am, what I'm doing, how I am. I just don't post them all. I make them just in case, because I never know what's going to happen. I have become very scared and paranoid, in case you haven't noticed, since Daylesford. And maybe, you know, they're not even doing anything. And I'm just, ooh, crazy paranoid freak. But that's still on them if it is just my paranoia, because this paranoia and fear is coming from the experience that I had. The lengths that they went to. Things I endured, witnessed, experienced. And that I know that they are capable of. So that's where that paranoia and fear comes from. It's not like I'm imagining things out of nowhere, like, oh, there's a man gonna come and get me in a Jason mask. No, the things I'm scared of are things that have already happened. That's why I'm scared. So right now is my time to rest, connect with myself, my pets, nature, the universe, and really get this cause underway, back on track. Thank you to my supporters for standing by me on this roller coaster. It is a fucking roller coaster, and I know that you know it because you're on it too. You're on your own roller coaster in your own theme park. And I'm here to let you know that I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on to the rail, and I'm about to go around the biggest fucking loop ever. And I'm not letting go.